you studied architecture, you're a qualified architect,
Yeah.
but now you're into the content creation, marketing space. तो ये कैसे हुआ?
So it actually goes back to my early school years. My career choices were architecture and journalism, and at that point, the idea of a professional degree was very critical.
Yeah.
And my dad said, you know what, you can always go back to journalism, but you cannot go back and choose architecture. So why don't you, even though he initially did not want me to even practice architecture, but he said, okay, if this is your final two choices, you go ahead and pick architecture and see if writing and journalism you can take on later. And that's really when it started. So, but coincidentally, every time I got a professional opportunity work-wise, right through my college years and subsequently, it was always to do with writing and content.
Right.
So my first job right after my internship was with one of India's oldest magazines. And then I was always wondering that, am I doing justice to my 5 years of education? So I kept running away from this aspect, and I kept looking for opportunities that would be mainstream architectural practice. And then I decided to go in for a master's.
Yeah.
I went to London. I did a master's in architecture again, architecture design, because I always felt that design was the only way one could really do justice to the profession. And it is at that point I realized that, which was just a complete shift in thinking, mindset, and the environment where I was, that practice is not just making buildings.
Right.
There is a whole other dimension of mainstream design and practice. And there are so many allied domains that actually are responsible for the success of a good practice.
Right.
And that shift in thinking made me start, it really made me start exploring other avenues. So when I worked there, my role was, I got a job with a leading firm. My role was always 50% design and 50% content, marketing, and writing. And that over many years led to me coming to that realization that, this was what my interest and this is where my passion was. And I decided, I think when I was about 27, 28, to commit to this full time.
Right.
I stopped designing at all. I love design, but it's only, it's not something I practice at all now.